So if you're someone right now and you've been training relentlessly, whether that's years, months, and you look at your body and you don't really see the changes that you expected, this video might piss you off a little bit because the issue at hand really isn't the effort that you're putting out. The real issue and where most people fail is because of what's not being measured, what's not being tracked. Welcome back to another video, guys. So as I've just as briefly explained, in this video I'm going to be breaking down in terms of why most men stay stuck even after years or months of relentless effort when it comes to the gym. And before I dive in, bro, this video ain't no damn motivation. This is simply just giving you the structure you need, so then that way going forward you can not be as confused and you can actually apply this starting today, going towards your goals when it comes to fitness, when it comes to changing your physique. And to point out, the first, you have to realize that your mistake isn't your laziness. No, you're not a lazy individual, because you're someone who works relentlessly hard. You push yourself day in, day out. But the only problem with what you're doing right now is you're operating blindly. So this what I mean by that is basically your workouts are randomized. You go, at random times, and you're just kind of following a structure that maybe other people told you or what you've seen online, right? And then two, you eat randomly. You don't have a full understanding of food, let alone macros or how to customize meal plan according to your work life schedule. And with that, it's just random expectations. But the thing is, with all the effort that you're putting out, you're expecting different results. But nothing can be changed, nothing can be adjusted if nothing's being tracked. That's just a simple truth. Like you have to understand, you can't change a body that you don't completely understand. For example, right, when you don't know your maintenance calories, your intake is random. You're just playing a guessing game throughout the day. This is where a lot of guys get confused, and where some people will say that, oh, I eat little, but nothing's being tracked, so they don't even know if they're going over their maintenance calories. Or I eat a lot, but then maybe you're not doing that on a consistent basis. Maybe one day you ate a lot, but then how about the next 6 days, the next 5 days, the next 4 days? But not scratch all of that out. You're not even understanding the amount of protein you're getting within those meals, the amount of carbs you're getting in those meals, the amount of fats that you're getting within those meals. You don't even have an understanding of the importance of each group, because you'll hear the common thing where people talk about, oh, if I just take out my carbs, it's not as black and white as that. There's more detail, there's more understanding, there's more to do in terms of when you're on a cut and what specific foods in terms of your carbs, protein, and fats that you have compared to when you're bulking. So with all that being said, you basically don't even know where you stand when it comes to eating, when it comes to your diet. You don't know what direction to head towards or anything. There's no direction. And another thing that may piss you off really, but even the effort that you're putting out in the gym, right? Your lifts. The thing is, guys, most of the times people don't even understand progressive overload. That's a huge one that I see a common mistake when it comes to my clients, where I tell them, I simply ask them the first week, once I customize everything in terms of their diet plan, in terms of their workout plan, going according to their work schedule. The first thing I tell them is just, you have the workouts, everything's set, everything's accommodated, you got a gym to go to, all this. Just track your weights. Just simply track your weights, you know what I mean? And after that week, once I check in with them, after check-in, seeing that everything went according to plan, this is where I have to explain in terms of understanding progressive overload. And the data shows within their training. You got some people staying in the same weight, same reps. And it's such a common theme that I see a lot of people don't understand. And why I said this part may piss you off, because whether you like it or not, You may be simply not training hard enough. And I know like it seems like I'm coming from a place where it's just like, oh, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But no, like guys, each set got to be trained to failure. You have to go into that second set being like, damn, I got to do this shit again. If you got a rep range of 8 to 10, and let's say your first two sets you hit them both 10, guys, that third set got to be increased. That third set got to be increased. You shouldn't feel, when you get to around the ninth or 10th rep, you should be struggling the most on those reps. And then guess what? That next set got to be the same effort, damn near closing in the gap on that 10th rep. But that's how you train to failure. But if you feel like you still have 5 reps in the tank, 6 reps in the tank, 10, you're not training hard enough. But that's another common issue I see with a lot of men. Because your body's going to respond to stress, to actually for weight that you actually struggle with. It's going to respond to that. Your body's going to find ways to be comfortable. So every time you go into the gym and hitting the same weight, same reps, you know what your body is saying? Oh, I already know what you're going to do. Oh, great. And people think it's just muscle confusion and all this shit. Oh, you gotta do this workout now in the beginning. No, that's not the case. You have to actually push yourself when you're in the gym. Every single session. And every set fucking matters. But you're not gonna understand any of that when shit isn't being tracked. When you're going for one rep PRs, when you're going for 1 rep PRs and thinking that that's progressive overload, it's not. More chances are not, it's going to lead to injury. And that's another issue. Some guys put way too much weight on in terms of certain muscles, certain exercises for either small muscle groups, which will lead to injury. So sometimes it's just bringing down the weight in certain exercises as well. But that's a common thing I see guys kind of not understand when it comes to their training. But you can't, again, it goes back to my point, you can't understand anything if nothing's being tracked. Now, with this next point here, this is the thing that a lot of guys don't want to hear, but it has to be said, guys. If you're not reviewing anything throughout the week, you're not taking progress photos each Sunday. Let's say you start Monday, so that's, let's say you start Monday, you're not taking any progress photos like every Sunday of the week, you're never going to know what's changing within your body. You're never going to know what's tightening up, what's getting wider within your waist, legs, arms, whatever the case. Like we have no data in terms of reviewing what we had in terms of eating. So this is where the random eating comes in. We have no idea, no data in terms of training. Whether you made it all days of the week, in terms of like hitting all your lifts, or maybe one day you missed, or maybe 2 days you missed. And let's say you're doing cardio after your workouts, slight little 20 minutes, but then you missed that day. But then this is the common excuse, oh, life just happened, everything got busy. But the thing is, everyone's life is busy. Life is going to happen regardless. And this is the key factor in that, which is major. Adjusting. So when life happens, you adjust, but people don't do that. People don't even understand how to do that. And with that lack of data in terms of seeing any patterns, seeing any data in terms of your weight, knowing what you eat throughout the week, you're never going to get the expected results you want. You're never. And it's going to continue being that way for years. But nothing's being tracked, nothing's being checked in, no check-ins for yourself. No progress photos to see where you were a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. That's where the main issue is. Nothing's being tracked. Nothing's being adjusted to because there is no goal. Everything is just random. So at the end of the day, when you're not reviewing your week, you're simply just repeating it. And that goes deeper than just workouts, guys. That goes way deeper than just workout, guys. That's the core essence of life, bro. When you're not reviewing what you're doing, what's going on, what's wrong in terms of your finances, why you're getting certain results with this, different subjects, dating, you're just repeating that cycle. And this is where most guys come to me with this frustration of wondering what's going on. Why haven't things changed when it comes to working out? I'm not no financial advisor, but that's the common frustration that most men come to me for. And I got to break it down to them step by step. Which is why every that first week when we start fixing things and adjusting things and understanding their work life structure and how we can adapt, how we can adjust to cater to his needs, her needs, whatever the case. That first week, that's where everything in terms of their energy, alignment within themselves, because now they're acting accordingly towards their fitness goals. It's always night and day difference. Every time, especially that first week when they're just getting rid of all that inflammation, actually drinking water. A gallon a day, which they think is so hard, but when you do it over and over again, you realize, oh wow, it was really this simple. Every time. So in these next 30 days, I want you to ask yourself these questions each and every single week. Do I know my maintenance? Am I sticking to my maintenance? Am I progressing within my lifts? How is my weight fluctuating this week? Am I checking in with myself every Sunday? If the answer is no to any of those questions, nothing's going to change. You're going to stay stuck. So this is a way where you can kind of remind yourself in terms of the path you're on and what goals you have. But ask yourself those questions every time in the next 30 days. And if the answer is no, nothing's going to change. So if you're someone right now who needs help with structure within their life, especially when it comes to fitness, that's what Kombe Mentality is built for. So if you're interested, there'll be a link down below where you can see how I help guys in terms of one-on-one coaching. But that's all for today's video. Kombe Mentality out.